you're welcome to another exciting edition of Rich for Life, a program designed for young people and the people that love them. My name is Sophia David Alpha, and today I am not alone in the studio because I have someone as usual that's going to help me do justice to today's discussion. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is David Alpha. I almost said Sophia David Alpha, but my name is David Alpha.
Okay. Today we'll be talking about something very, very important. Yes, important as others we've been talking about, but today is very special. Remember, every human being is a spirit with a soul and lives inside a body.
That's right.
And each of these entities have needs. But today we are focusing on a very particular need that drives every other human needs that you've experienced in our humanity. Today, what are we talking about? We are talking about the topic, the vacuum. Yes, we are talking about what? Vacuum. What is a vacuum? A vacuum is a void, an emptiness, a space that needs to what? Be filled. And what is this vacuum that we're talking about? Spiritual vacuum. We're talking about spiritual thirst. What do you have to say about it?
You see, just like she said, a vacuum. And nature
abhors vacuum. Sure.
That's why scientifically there's vacuum does not even have air. So as soon as there's a leakage into that vacuum, air rushes in.
Yes.
So human beings have been trying their best to fill this vacuum.
Yes, he's trying to use different means and ways to reach out to
this vacuum.
Yes.
Hence, we need to listen.
Yes. The moon revolves around the earth, but the earth revolves around the sun.
Okay.
The moon is peripheral to us, but the sun is central. What do you have to say at this point?
This is geography.
Yeah, a little brush of geography classes.
Revolves around the earth. This is the earth. The moon is about 1/4. That is a quarter of the earth. So the moon is small, revolves around the earth. So while it's revolving continuously, this is the earth, revolves around the sun. So you see?
Just in case
that's geography. So
let's just paint a picture.
So you see, this is the sun. And this is the what? Earth.
Yeah.
And the sun can contain 1.3 million Earths.
What?
That tells you how large
big
the sun is. So the central point of survival, of existence of life on Earth is dependent on the what? Sun.
Can you imagine life without sun? You just woke up one day and discovered there is no sun. The world will run into chaos that day, I bet you.
That is why the earth needs the sun
to survive.
There is a vacuum that only the sun can fill for the earth.
Exactly.
However, the vacuum of the moon is not that significant.
Yeah, sometimes it's you barely notice the moon in the night, whether it's there or not. It doesn't really. It's not like a border, but it becomes a border once there is no sun. It's obvious.
It means all life form on earth are about to go sudden extinction.
Yes.
Okay? So that is how important, integral to the survival of humanity the sun is.
Yes, but sadly, unfortunately, we tend to shrink God to moon size, treating him as though he was something small on the side. We treat as something insignificant.
God should revolve around us. Instead of us
revolving around God, our existence, everything. In fact, there's this part of the scripture that I love so much in Acts 17. It says, in him we move, we live, and have our being.
In him we live, move, and have our being. In other words, he said, in him we live both to will and also to do of his good pleasure. Yeah. So if you lose your central focus in life, whether as the earth versus the sun, or as a human being versus your maker, you have gone.
Just like a human being, can you stand without skeleton?
No.
You just can't. Now let's move further. God is large and in charge, bright and glorious. He is the only worthy center, the only worthy center of our lives. He comes first. He gives meaning and lights up our way. Can you throw more light on that?
It's simple. Without God, there is no man. You see, the challenge is that God created man, gave man power to will. He doesn't want to force man. He gave you will so that you can choose to follow. Then this man, in his limited knowledge, tries to use the created limited wisdom to analyze his creator. So you see, save yourself distress, follow the path of God, and save yourself experimentations, because people have searched for ways to fill this vacuum. Remember, we're talking about vacuum. And spiritual vacuum can easily be misinterpreted because we are first body with the mind, soul. So we find physical ways to satisfying a spiritual test. So putting square pegs in a round hole can never and will never satisfy.
Sorry, there's something I want us to just touch a little bit. When we're talking about spiritual thirst, it's sounding theological, it's sounding churchy, but we're talking about there are certain human needs that you need that is actually expressed in God. For example, love. What is love? The Bible made us to understand that God is love. Love is not sex. But sadly
in
people
search of love, you say God is love. And anyone who lives in God, God lives in him. Remember, God created man, but man is trying to use his head to now run the manufacturer's manual without listening to the manufacturer. So in search of love, we don't want to follow the biblical way that says God is love, which answers the spiritual need. So we now started looking for ways,
experimenting.
Good. So how I need to feel something. I'm not feeling it. No. There's something. So you take love, you say, okay, maybe I can find it in sex.
Or drugs. Or success, or achievements.
Maybe when I win that Grammy Award, the best dress, best this, best that.
You find out that at the end of it, even when you've achieved and attained that which you so much want, as in you've pushed yourself beyond measures to attain, you finally get it, only to discover that is that all?
No, because there is a thirst in man. As a matter of fact, just to save you the stress, we talk about do not reinvent the wheel. There's a case study today. Our case study today is the Samaritan woman. In search of love, she has gone into experimentation. Married one husband.
The first husband.
He didn't give her what she wanted.
Third, fourth, fifth, and even the sixth one, because
there was a sixth one. Because when she finally met Jesus, Jesus was like, "Hey, can you give me water to drink?" And she was like, "Give you water?" You now say, "Okay, if you know who is asking you for water, you will not even dilly-dally. You say, okay, you should give me water." I say, how will you get the water? The well is deep. She didn't really understand.
Now, for you to further understand what we're talking about, let's look at John 4:4-24. But we're going to start, we've already explained the story, is a very familiar one, but relatable story as well. So we're going to start from verse 10.
Okay, just to remind you, this manual is Rich for Life manual. And we are discussing from page 240.
We are discussing from page 240 and 21. In case you have this manual, just flip immediately, and everything we've been saying, you see there verbatim. And in case you don't even have the manual, don't worry, as usual, we've got you covered.
We'll try and give you what we're talking about. So, continue. John 4.
Okay, let's jump to
verse
10, which is just another page, a flip over to the next one, 242. So I read from verse 10. Jesus answered her, "You do not know what God's gift is, and you do not know who is asking you for a drink."
That's right.
If you did, you would have asked him. He would have given you living water. "Sir," the woman said, "you don't have anything to get the water with. The well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Our father Jacob gave us the well. He drank from it himself. So did his sons and his livestock. Are you more important than he is?" Verse 13, Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But anyone who drinks the water I give them will never be thirsty. In fact, the water I give them will become a spring of water in them. It will flow up into eternal life. The woman said to him, Sir, give me this water.
That's right.
Then I will never be thirsty, and I won't have to keep coming here to get water.
Good.
He told her, Go, get your husband and come back. I have no husband, she replied. Jesus said to her, You are right when you said you have no husband. The fact is, you have had 5 husbands, and the man you live with now is not your husband.
Okay.
What you have just said is very true. Sir, the woman said, I can see that you are a prophet. Our people have always worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Jesus said, Woman, believe me, a time is coming when you will not worship the Father on this mountain or in Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know. Salvation comes from the Jews. But a new time is coming. In fact, it is already here. True worshippers will worship the Father in the Spirit and truth. They are the kind of worshippers the Father is looking for. God is Spirit. His worshippers must worship Him in the Spirit and in truth. You can see our case study talking about the Samaritan woman.
That's right.
Seeking for something that she will never ever get from elsewhere. And guess what? God, knowing the desires of her heart, met her at the point of her need, just like God is reaching out to you through this program right now. So that you don't say, that was a Samaritan woman. No. This is the same opportunity.
Yes.
The same opportunity the Samaritan woman had is what you're having now. And God is reaching out to you. What is it exactly are you looking out for, just like the Samaritan woman? What are you seeking? Where are you? What is that void in your heart that you're trying to replace God with so many other things? Okay.
Wow.
I think what do we exactly learn from our case study, Samaritan woman? What do we learn?
Look at it. You see, God is like the sun, lighting up our lives.
Yeah.
He's also like a spring, able to satisfy our deepest
thirst. Underline that word.
Whatever
deepest.
is that desire, that thirst, God can satisfy it.
And funny enough, the thirst we're talking about manifests in different ways.
That's the point, because the spirit controls the physical.
The spirit controls the physical.
Spirit
You're first the
controls
spirit.
Yes.
Before you became a human, before there were patches of flesh.
Oh, yes.
Do you understand? And this spirit has a need that is also penetrating and infusing into every other need that you see.
That's right.
Whatever you see happening today in our world is traceable.
It's an offshoot.
It's an offshoot from the spirit.
It's just like someone is suffering from, is having a bacterial infection.
Okay.
Instead of treating the causative agent, the bacteria, he's treating the symptoms. Oh, he's feeling, maybe he's trying to throw up, he goes and take an emetic drug. He's feeling these symptoms, stomach ache, he takes this one. Instead of taking an antibacterial that is potent enough to clear the source. So until you solve the spiritual vacuum, you get an award, it doesn't make sense to you. You get married, you can't find any joy in it. You have relationship from one thing to the other. God,
nothing stabilizes in your hand.
Nothing makes sense to you.
Okay, this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's edition. I hope you learned one or two things. Feel free to write to us, feel free to connect to us. And also, before we go, finally, we want to use this privilege to appreciate Biblica for making the Reach for Life project a reality. Thank you so much for what you've done and what you're still doing across Africa and the world at large. God bless you. We also want to thank That TV for giving us this platform to reach out to you digitally. Yes.
Oh, yes.
And also, in case you want to be part of us, this program is open for sponsorship. But
right.
one of the biggest sponsorship, one of the biggest partnership that you can give us is by doing what?
Share,
Share.
download it,
Download it.
upload it on your platform.
Feel free. It's a free
relatively free.
material. You can use it
Then,
anywhere.
when you download it, share it with your friends who
Yeah.
do not have data. Ensure that somebody
Is
listens to
blessed by this.
That is the biggest partnership.
Yes.
Thank you.
Until I come your way again, don't forget my name is Sophia David Alpha, and
I'm David Alpha.
thank you for watching Reach for Life, because
The choice
is
is
yours. Bye for now.
Bye.